Once known as the righteous king of the Lust Lair, King Minos' story can best be summed up as the tragic end of potential enlightenment. But before diving into King Minos' story, let's first begin by understanding his kingdom, the Lust Lair. The Lust Lair is the second layer of hell, falling between Limbo as the first and Gluttony as the third. The Lust Lair is the first layer that punishes the souls of the damned sentenced there. These souls are forced to endure an endless violent storm that never allows them to rest. The storm can be seen in the skybox of levels within the Lust Lair. Those who are forced to stay in the Lust Lair are those who have committed sins of sexual desire, sins of lust. Upon being damned to hell, those who have committed a sin must pass through Limbo and enter the Lust Lair, where they are met by King Minos, who at the time was the judge of hell. King Minos would decide their fate after having them confess all their sins. Upon hearing their sins, King Minos would wrap his golden snakes around his arm, equal to the layer of hell that soul must go. Although this process of hell layer selection has not been confirmed by ULTRAKILL lore, I believe this is how it would go, because ULTRAKILL has direct similarities to the second layer of hell in Dante's Inferno, which Hakita has mentioned he pulled inspiration from. For example, the second layer of hell in Dante's Inferno is called the Lust Lair, ravaged by an endless storm, and ruled by a demigod named, you probably guessed it by now, King Minos. But now back to confirmed ULTRAKILL lore for the rest of this story. While King Minos was still serving as the judge of hell, he learned of the disappearance of God and discovered the heavens were in absolute chaos with the angels trying to maintain stability. Minos decided to free those damned to the Lust Lair because he felt eternal suffering was an unfair punishment for those whose only sin was loving one another. It was at this time the Lust Renaissance begun. King Minos guided the souls he freed to build a grand city that would protect them from the endless storm within the Lust Lair. The city can be seen below most levels of the Lust Lair and features extra tall walls to protect the inhabitants from the storm. However, the grand city of the Lust Lair collapsed once the council took control over the heavens. The council saw what King Minos did in the Lust Lair, and in their eyes, it was against the will of God. In response to this discovery, the council sent one of their most powerful warriors to strike down King Minos for his transgressions against God. That warrior was the supreme archangel, Gabriel. King Minos was not one to rule through fear or force. Instead, he preferred to use logic and reason to solve his problems. Upon coming face to face with Gabriel in the Lust Lair, King Minos attempted to reason with him, but Gabriel refused to listen and mercilessly struck him down, ending the Lust Renaissance, ending the Grand City. The scene of King Minos and Gabriel coming face to face is described in a book by a citizen of the Grand City. The citizen's description was as follows. Gabriel struck down Minos, his flesh torn asunder, with torrents of crimson pooling at his feet, as we all cried out for clarity. Justice, Gabriel decreed to all, with our just ruler writhing in wailing agony. The Lord's will be done. We watched on in horror as Minos lay broken, now waning, screaming in defiance of God's will. Minos' death was not the end of his story. The angels of heaven saw that even in death, Minos was a threat, because of the power his pure will gave him. The angels chose to make an example out of him for going against God's will. The angels locked his soul inside of a fleshy monstrosity within his own corpse, where he is forced to watch his now parasite-controlled corpse destroy everything he worked to build within the Lust Lair. While in that prison, he vowed to get his revenge on the council, and most importantly, Gabriel. This is where V1's story crosses path with King Minos' soul. V1 defeats the fleshy prison locking away Minos, freeing his soul to take on a physical form. This is when it is revealed Minos has developed into a prime soul, a soul of the rarest and most powerful type.
Free at last. Oh, Gabriel, now dawns thy reckoning, and thy gore shall glisten before the temples of man. Creature of steel, my gratitude upon thee for my freedom. But the crimes thy kind have committed against humanity are not forgotten. And thy punishment is death.
Minos Prime underestimated V1 and failed to punish him for his crimes against humanity, extinguishing any hope Minos Prime had to save his people, any hope he had to reclaim his kingdom.
Forgive me, my children, for I have failed to bring you salvation from this cold, dark world.